'tis the season to be total weirdos and play with our toys and dress up, I guess. What's wrong with us? Hello and welcome to a very special Christmas episode, I guess. I don't know. So this is going to be different. This is weird. This is kind of going off course a little bit. What we're doing today is looking at a really easy way to actually amp up some of the figures that you have at home. This should work for most of the 7-inch figures that you have. But here we have actually a whole set of stuff that I've done for the Ninja Turtles from NECA, and it honestly works incredibly well, and it's thanks to this user on Twitter right here. So definitely want to give a shout out and thank you for posting that and allowing me to find that there are other items out there that I can use to kind of amp this up. So we got these little toboggans and the Santa hat and this scarf that came off of these birds that you can find at Target. So all of this stuff you can find at Target. The coats, the sweaters, and the toboggans, they all came from Target. So the sweaters and the coats come in a few different colors, but they come on these little hangers as well. And everything is $3 each. So whatever you get, whether you get the birds or whether you get these, it's all in the back corner section of the seasonal items of Target. And these specifically in my store were found in this kind of red stand in the center of the aisle. And as you can see with the jackets, you get the hood, there's the hanger, and then you have these kind of cheap, I mean, they're just popsicle sticks, but they're little skis or whatever. So obviously I removed those from mine because they don't seem to really do it for me. And all of the little like presents or toys that I got, those are actually from the Zuru brand, the Z-U-R-U brand of mini things. And I actually got these all on Mercari, so there were sellers that had already found them and then they were just listing them. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take it. The comic book I actually got from a seller on Mercari that was just making them herself, I guess. And if you have the NECA accessory pack, it's really a nice way to amp this whole theme up because now everybody can be happy instead of having these kind of serious faces like we have on my extra Donatello here. So we're gonna use this extra Donatello that I have to show you how we go about doing it and a couple steps that you wanna check before you walk out of the store with these Christmas ornaments from Target. So first thing, when checking out the jackets, since it's all mass produced and they're not intended for this, obviously, you wanna check the thickness or the width of the sleeve. So even this one, they're a little bit different lengths, I think, and the wideness, the width. Some of them are like really narrow and would probably be a serious issue, but they're holes. They go all the way through, so you don't have to cut anything there. The biggest challenge is getting it on the turtle, to be honest. So you can just remove the hanger. It's simple. The sweaters have actually little like sewn in pieces at the bottom of the hangers. So when you go to take the hanger out of the sweaters, you'll want to snip those first. But pretty straightforward, simple. Now with mine, I actually, before I even tried to put it on the turtles, I actually just pulled it apart. That's just glued together like hot glue. Same thing with this skis. So we're just gonna pull those off. It's super easy. Yeah, that's it. No big deal. Obviously, there's this strip of glue and you can sit and pick at it. Maybe it'll come off a little easier for you, depending on how much glue they put on there. So of course, we're not trying to win any prizes here. There's no real competition. So it's not a big deal to me if there's like some imperfections going on with the jacket and stuff. It's really just a way to like take stuff that's already out, enjoy it again, and then have it on par with the holidays. With the jacket, when I did this the first time, I did remove his head, of course, and the hands, which definitely makes life easier. So let's go ahead and get these off. So not too hard to get this on, to be honest. Now with the others, like I said, I did open it up and you just put it on like an actual jacket. So you just take the arms, bend them backwards like this, and then you would just like basically put the arms into the sleeves. Really easy. But this time I'm gonna try to put it on and keep it zipped up or glued shut. So let's see if we can make that happen. It's definitely gonna be harder. One arm down, or up. All right, so it is starting to work. We're gonna put the hands back on to help keep everything from slipping off. It's just like being a little kid again. I mean, playing with toys, yes, but also trying to put on a jacket as a kid and feeling frustrated because it's too small or something. All right, so you just gotta wiggle it around a little bit, but you can definitely get these arms and these sleeves back into position and get this jacket on without having to undo it, which I wish I would have learned that the first time. So there we go. We did it. We have our first turtle in a jacket. And honestly, I wish that I would have done this the first time, because the zipped up version is kind of nicer. You get to move them around a little bit more when they're open, but you can see the glue that was left behind. And again, I don't know if there's like an easier way to get rid of that residue because it starts to get deeper into the fibers, but the alternative is just get a hot glue gun and put it back together. So yeah, there we go. Donatello with his winter jacket. He's ready to go skiing. And wasn't there a Christmas special? A Ninja Turtle Christmas special that was apparently the worst thing that they've ever made. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're here just to play with our toys. So with Leonardo, he's got this toboggan on. This came from those bird ornaments. And again, they peel off. There's actually like a little bit of cotton that's shoved in there, obviously synthetic cotton. But yeah, so it's really easy, very straightforward. Now, since it is threaded and there's holes and stuff, I use this to help keep it on his head because they kind of just want to like lift off because there's no real weight and no way to really just kind of grasp around his head. So that's the difference between the jacket being unzipped essentially and not, and then you get all this glue residue that's left behind, and it's a bummer, but could be worse. It's still pretty cool to have it open either way. So you can have options, and it comes in the red, there is a shimmery white, and then the charcoal one. So depending on if you want to get April and Casey Jones all set up, obviously you can have pretty much the full crew set for Christmas. And then this Donatello, again, alternate head from the accessory pack, and then the skateboard from the accessory pack. But same thing, I have the jacket that was done open versus having it shut, which again, I think I may just get the hot glue gun out and then put that back together. The hoods, there may be different sized hoods based on how these are just cheaply manufactured. So they are a little big, especially this one it seems. But, again, doesn't have to be perfect. We're just here to have a little bit of fun and do it on the cheap. Then the little tree that's back there, that is just from the cheap section right up front of Target. Usually when you walk in, they have those kind of holiday seasonal items in the little carts and stuff. So these are very simple, easy things to do. The sweaters are a little long in the body, but it works, especially for the sitting pose. So you can kind of see that. Plus he wanted to look at his toys, man. Which are these from the Zuru, whatever, brand. And this is apparently like a rare chase variant or whatever. And then the original for Raphael, I think they do all 4 turtles with this. With these little, yeah. I mean, there's like a graphic anyway. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And just a nice way to revisit some of your favorite figures and amp it up and have a little fun with the holidays and change it out. Do some seasonal stuff, right? And Master Splinter, I had him holding the Raphael and then just kind of showing it up to Raph. Yeah, so pretty simple, works well. He does his sitting pose really well. One of the reasons I had that kind of set up, so I gave him the scarf off of one of those birds, I gave him the Santa hat off of one of the birds, and then I just kind of had his hand here to help hold it. Because I did do this through the back of it to help hold it in place, but they just want to lift up, so they're not perfect, I'm sure there's something you can do to like kind of weigh it down or something, but I just had his hand up there like he was just kind of like, oh my goodness, how can there's a toy of me, and he's just kind of like embarrassed or whatever. And then he's got his little Captain America comic book. And just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if this hat from Stripe here, which is, I mean, this is just how the figure comes, but I was gonna see if maybe we can find something to fit these guys. Be pretty funny. I don't know. I mean, it's different. It's something. Again, you just gotta have some fun with the toys you got. That's it. It's very simple, and I recommend just going to Target, grabbing some of those items. You can get them online as well and ship them if you prefer, if your Target's a little too far away. It's a way to amp things up for the holidays and, you know, not be bored of the same stuff that's on the shelf all the time. So go back, revisit, remember why these are your favorite figures, why NECA kills it. I mean, the detail of the turtle stuff is just always spectacular. I review other things in this channel and, you know, always go back to the turtles, and they're just some of the best figures. But yeah, and that's ultimately why I had Stripe and put Gizmo's little hat on him. It's just a holiday thing. Have some fun, and let me know in the comments what you did to your figures. You can reach me on Twitter, tag me in a post. I would love to see what you have done to give your figures some holiday cheer. But thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, obviously subscribe and watch this video here where I go through a downward spiral of how bad that Robin Hood is from Super 7. See you next time.